Hey, I'm Karina, and in the last vlog I spent a few days exploring Athens with my friend Laura. We just caught the most luxurious ferry to the island of Milos, where we'll be spending the next 5 days exploring by car. Okay, welcome to our little villa for the next 5 days and nights. We have our little terrace, which is so cute, and laundry, which is nice. And look at the view of the port. Our little rental car. Simple, but it does the job. We have a little kitchen as well. Fully equipped? Supposedly. Yes, equipped anyway. Oh, very nice. And little seating area. There's even a TV. There's air conditioning, which was the #1 priority here. And then a very nice little bathroom, which will be great. But I'm very excited to use the terrace this evening. Hopefully we'll get a nice sunset. Yeah. After lugging our bags around the port to reach our accommodation, we were so ready to hit the beach. So we just parked at our first beach in Greece. And what's the name of this?
Latina, something like this.
Oh my gosh. And it's not even that busy because it's technically the end of the summer season, which I think September, like end of August, September seems to be the best time to go. Latina. Okay. We're gonna test it out and see how it goes. But honestly, looking at the water, I'm already sold. It's gonna be beautiful. We absolutely love this beach with its super soft golden sand and for the little beach bar serving up fresh juices and ice cold drinks. But with the sun disappearing behind the cliffs, there was one more spot we wanted to check out before dark. Firopotamos is the cutest little fishing village. There's a rock beach below to swim, or you can simply admire the view from the plaza above. We caught the most incredible sunset to finish off our first day in Milos and celebrated with a delicious dinner not far from our place. Feta, domades, and stuffed tomatoes are a must when in Greece. We wandered through the town of Adamantas, where we were staying, just briefly before calling it a night. Wish I could say it was a good morning in Milos, but honestly our AC didn't work and we woke up sweaty and covered in mosquito bites, but it was time to explore more of the island. Tripiti is the small village just adjacent to the main town of Plaka. We strolled the quiet streets in the morning before grabbing some lunch in the other town. Plaka quickly became one of our favorite places on the island. Adorable shops and charming blue doors were everywhere here, plus a church with the most gorgeous view over the Aegean. My advice would be to have fun getting lost in the tiny picturesque alleyways. There's so many photogenic spots to find here. Next up, we drove our rental car over to Mandrakia, another colorful fishing village which hosts one of the best seafood restaurants on the island, Medusa. The water was shallow and turquoise blue here, but there were only rocks to stand on, so while it was a beautiful beach, we ended up heading back to our favorite sandy spot from the previous day. So I realized I didn't really vlog much today, but that's just because we were busy from the get-go. But last night we didn't have such a good night's sleep because the heat was just coming in too much and the AC wasn't really working, so it was fine. We took our time this morning, got ready, And then we went to Plaka or Tripiti, which is also Plaka on the map as far as what we could tell, and really cute. Honestly, probably our favorite town so far. But I would say if you're planning on staying in Milos, it's probably better to stay near Adamantas or Adamas, however you want to say it, which is the port, because there's much more to do, there's more restaurants, and it's much less isolated than the small towns, unless you prefer that type of isolation, you want to have peace and quiet, then that's fine, you do you. Also, a car rental is 100% necessary, or even like an ATV, but the buses just can't get to the beaches, and so you'd be stuck between the towns mostly, and even then they don't run very often, and you have to wait in the sun to find the next one, so I would say it's worth it to get a car for sure. But weather-wise, I think end of August, September is the perfect time to come. Like, we haven't hardly run into any traffic at all, maybe one or two other cars on the road like passing us consistently like throughout the drives, and the towns aren't overly busy. Like, we can always find a space on the beach to lay our towels, so it's been great so far, and the weather is perfect, and the water is really warm because it's been heating up all summer long, so I couldn't recommend it more. That evening we walked around the sun-drenched old town of Adamantas, finding a bunch of friendly stray cats just hanging around. I don't think I've ever seen so many cats in one place. So we found 12, and this one really likes us and he wants to follow us. After sunset, we walked back to our place to have dinner on the terrace. At least from here, the view is beautiful. Good morning. We are on our way to Sarakiniko Beach, which is the most famous beach in Milos that we haven't done yet. And I would say you probably have to get here a little bit earlier than we did to have more parking spaces and more beach to yourself, but at least the weather is nice right now. I mean, it's still the hottest day that I think we've had so far, but the breeze is helping a little bit now. So we'll see if we can swim here. If not, we'll just take some pictures because the place looks absolutely beautiful. This is one of, if not the most popular beach on the island, so plan to arrive early. But even with the crowds, we found a spot to lay our things and swam for a solid period of time in the calm, warm water. It's easy to see why this beach is so popular. The unique, otherworldly landscapes are a stark contrast to the brilliant, sparkling blues of the sea. Back on the road, we made our way to Pollonia for lunch and really enjoyed our time here. Definitely the best seafood we ate on the island, and the church is picture perfect, straight out of Mamma Mia. We spent the rest of the afternoon here on rented sunbeds until the sun disappeared. This was one of my favorite days on Milos for sure. Sometimes the best plans are having no plans and just seeing where the day takes you. Feeling drained from the sun, we went back to our place for a home-cooked dinner, the perfect end to this relaxing day. Another day, another beach, and man was this one worth the visit. We just found our new favorite spot on the entire island. I think we just found our new favorite beach on the island. So Fyriplaka is incredible. It's like super soft sand. There's spots with shade, spots with sun, but the water is like crystal clear, shallow, and beautiful. So number one right here, I think. We swam for hours and hours here until we were absolutely exhausted, and after roasting on the sand for a bit, we went back to our place for a late lunch. Later that evening, we grabbed a few grocery supplies for the next day and ran into a family of chickens wandering outside. I always love seeing international grocery stores and their various products that differ from ours in the US. So just a pro tip, we're back in Plaka to watch the sunset, and you can obviously watch it from the church just right up there. But if you turn the corner and walk down the little steps, you'll have this area all to yourself. I wasn't sure if we would get a sunset this evening or not, but it ended up being the best one yet. So glad we got to see this. We made plans to grab dinner in Plaka, but the place we chose wasn't my favorite. But if I may recommend a place here, try Kira, just near the stairs up from the parking lot. Good morning, it's our last morning in Milos, and we decided to come back to our favorite beach, which is Fyriplaka, after yesterday spending hours and hours here just enjoying the water, because it looks like the Maldives. It's crystal clear, the sand is super soft, there's shade in the morning, and there's some trees to cover in the afternoon. So we're just gonna spend as much time as here as possible before we head back to our little apartment and get ready for our last evening in Milos. We had a small lunch back at our place because we already had plans to visit Adamantas Tavern for dinner, and it was definitely worth a visit. There's like one ice cream place in the town of Adamantas, and it's this one, and you have to try it, especially for a rocher. Very good. We've woken up pretty early this morning. It was our last full day in Milos yesterday. Today we're heading to Paros, but we took the early ferry so that we could have more time there throughout the day. So we woke up at 6 a.m. But the benefits of that are that we get to see the sunrise, and it's just beautiful this morning. But we're really excited to see a new island here in Greece. After our last accommodation wasn't super great, we didn't have aircon or AC, however you prefer to call it, through the entire time. So we had to leave the windows open, and that meant lots of mosquito bites. Anyway, hoping this one will be better. But yeah, it was really nice yesterday. We went back to our favorite beach, and then we had dinner at Adamantas Tavern, which was actually not touristy at all. It was really, really good food. I mean, the decor was amazing, so we loved it. And then we got some ice cream as a little treat for our last night in Milos. So I think today will be a little bit different and more fun. We'll see how it goes. I can't recommend Milos enough for your Greek island hopping trip. Its landscapes speak for themselves, and the beaches are absolutely beautiful. There's not as much nightlife, but Plaka and Adamantas are great options for dinner with a fun atmosphere. This sunrise was the cherry on top and the best way to finish off our time on the island.